Beautiful people, today we are ranking every single FUT birthday player. We're coming in with hot takes as per usual. We have broken rank 1 FUT champs debatable in the pine. I have 2 questions. Don't let me down. Number 1, who's been a pleasant surprise from this selection? Number 2, Adeyemi. What an SBC. And we might have to extend the tiers. This is the early iteration. Would recommend 500,000 coins, give or take. Ace is official. Anime Adeyemi, not letting you down. Acosta, he's gonna let you down. Bon Madi, smooth mover. Not gonna be a surprise. You are accustomed, you are familiar, you know how she moves, the responsiveness, ins and outs and conversation. Bon Madi for Ballon d'Or. You know the ordeal. Before we discuss Al Wyron, there are a few names that are not possible to technically have just yet. Him being one of those individuals. I don't have that firsthand experience. I have not gone up against them. I'm just keeping it official and I'm having that conversation, that disclaimer's in the video. With all that being said, I can't see how he would not make it to broken. That's my first takeaway, and I'll leave him there for now. Alaba is a bit of an in-betweener. He's not built to do the business as a center back in terms of a big body type, but he does move well. If you're invested in manual defending, he'll be able to give you some of those solutions. You can play him out wide. The stats are all over the place. Plenty of them do enough. Weekend league is what's screaming off the page. Alexander-Arnold, some of the best passing that you can buy into. FUT champs, and we can keep rolling. Garnacho, a lot of pace, able to turn and burn, giving you left stick goodness for the weekend. David Beckham, we did not ask for this, but I am not upset that he has arrived. And I've been talking to myself. I've been reflecting. You see the early broken placement. We've got David Hullett, Rude Beckham, stats everywhere. And when you talk about passing and being able to find the perfectly well-weighted ball and switching the pitch and abusing different play styles and formations and everything that's all encompassing, Beckham will help you do that. Silva, you would not play her as a center back. You could take her out wide. I'm going to throw her into a debatable. I'm not seeing a bunch of people running her up into squads, but she does have intercept and bruiser, and we've seen that type of meta with fullbacks in particular. Mr. Alvarez, dumb nice with the finishing. I'm not sure press proven would be your secondary prime play style of your choosing for a striker, but that's what he has. Da Costa, fantastic value, would recommend. He's got that physicality. He's big bodied, can be a little chaotic and out of control, but he is everywhere. And I am running back or reliving previous installments with this lovely individual. Bacha, I wouldn't take her beyond the weekend. Something about some of the women or the ladies out wide. Maybe it's just around the meta of being able to find space and the crossing and what's needed. This year has been a downturn overall comparatively to previous installments, and I mean that respectfully. Balotelli, I am going to love him, but I do not have him yet. If you've been following the channel, every time there's some iteration of Balotelli, we cook up. We give you a phenomenal performance on the virtual pitch. And if you'd like to hear more of the Balotelli greatness, the story from childhood to where he is present day, we put together a bit of a mini documentary. It's on the Football Records. I'll link that down below. Second channel would be amazing if you could subscribe or at least consider it. That said, I know he's going to be FUT champs, at least for me. Some of you might have him debatable. We'll see when the time comes. Cap Devia, I'm not at level 35, but whenever we get there, I'd say he's going to end up being rank 1, and if he over delivers, broken might rival to be one of the best fullbacks in the game. Speaking of the best of the best, office setup, everything's Elgato, microphone, lights, camera, action. It's linked down below. Make the pickups. If you have questions, I have answers. Sol Campbell, I don't know why he's not that trusted for yours truly, but I just can't get past it. We have some sort of rapport that has not been fixed. Maybe we need relationship counseling. He's sort of a Desai type if you want a one-to-one comparison. I just don't know if he's as reliable as I would like him to be for me. Jude Bellingham, take him to the top, moving all around the middies. Cascarino, she is fast. For most of you, I'd see more of a super sub type of scenario or role in your team. King Kenny, icon it up, also going to go broken. And as time goes and it develops, we'll have even more lanes of separation. We got a lot of players. Cristiano Ronaldo, expensive SBC, but he is brilliant. You get what you pay for. If you made that investment, you spent the time, you had the fodder, you have not been disappointed. Benteke is going to join MLS Brethren. I'm not quite getting the word. Benteke, Acosta, they're both going to the Pine. DeMarco, and the stats are dumb nice. The price tag is affordable. I wish that his second play style wasn't dead ball, because as a fullback, there's so many different options I would have preferred instead. But even with that said, put some respect on his name. Rank 1. Matt Doherty, happy St. Patrick's. I hope you found some green beer, or at least a Guinness. He's still going debatable. Duran is also going to go debatable. I'm not upset if you pushed at the FUT champs. He might surprise some of you folks. Doumbia, and part of this elite level sweat fest of offensive masterclass of turn and burn. He's going broken. Diaby is still an absolute threat. He's not the most complete player, but I don't enjoy going up against him. He still makes me uncomfortable. It makes me nervous. You know, he can turn and one dribble this way or that way and take off against the defense. That's the reality. Espino, he's just not going to get used. Essien, people did not jump on this SBC, but this is not about value. It's only about ability. And give him rank 1, line it up for the middies. If you have Florenzi, you know the FUT history. I see him a little more debatable, but the Italians might turn to the comment section. Martinelli's just got a disgusting technical dribble. It is so fast, and with how the game currently works and the meta, holding that R1 trigger, forget about it. Gervinho, for where we're at currently, I still see broken, and I made the statement or the disclaimer, I'm going to add some additional categories. It might even start sooner than later. I've added extra broken and a top 5, and this could still maneuver towards the end, but I wanted to start getting some upper level credits out there early. I can guarantee that Cristiano Ronaldo needs to be up another notch. Beckham feeling diffy. Doumbia, just pure destruction. Sydney, Govou, rank 1. Still one of the fastest full circle turn, takeoff, speed burst in the game. I stand by it. Gavi is just not that meta. You could take him into the weekend, but it's sort of been the story or the tagline all year long. There's been multiple upgrades. He ends up feeling just in line. Surge, he's got that new low driven. Put him somewhere. Stand out, stand up. Dribbling is pretty clean. Pace might not feel like a full 90, but he will finish a 1v1. Ledley King, big body, dieseled on the back line. I like it. We're not knocking him. Easy link up play. Marco. This is one of those fraudulent stat lines. I'm just going to call it how it is, and we keep pushing. It might be more of the same. I know based on performances, you want this higher. I'll be kind and go debatable, but chip shot, first touch, bit more of a lengthy body type. There are challenges. 5-foot center mid or holding mid, I'm struggling. That's just where I'm at. Holland, big body, still disruptive as ever. Gonna start with broken, and the way that he can change a game, and it can be in simple fashion. He's just unique to the game. We'll leave that here. Hummels, you're gonna find yourself in a debatable. Griezmann. I don't know if I'm nudging him out of broken, but he does deserve that. He's kind of a secondary striker or a floating attacker. Some of the most upper echelon curvature and trajectory you can buy into. If you want a finesse shot, if we were just ranking those, he would be here. Kulusevski, where do you play him? You can't use him out wide. Maybe he's going to be some sort of cam that you can try to have that's a little large and in charge and can orchestrate, but debatable feels right. Chloe Kelly, I don't know who she's replacing, and her 86 was okay. The 92 is better. I just have so many prime attackers, and I don't think I share in that opinion. Jota, João Pedro, little trickster Travella action. I think he's just going to feel normal for you. I don't know where you play him. Isco at the disco could be a similar argument. I'll give him a little bit of an additional notch, but this is the conversation. You're limited with the minutes, you're limited with some of the positioning, and then combining the stats and then the play styles, and you start asking, where am I going to take full advantage? It's tricky, but a Barbo, is going to ruin your weekend. No doubt. Extra broken. Destruction. Gary Lineker. Pine's not right. We'll get him into a debatable, but let us be honest. He's not making most of your starting 11s or even coming off the bench as a super sub. And Stanislav, great name, but he's going to the Pine. Jackson, I think all of us packed this man at least once or twice. EA's been giving him out. It's not special, but I'm okay with a debatable. I don't think you're going to see him getting ran down on in a bunch of weekends. Curtis Jones, I have not had the pleasure, but I would assume, based on the overall packaging and previous history, at least good enough for the weekend. We're not going to jump around. We're not going to go crazy. I'm doing the same with Kimpembe, and it's just because I haven't had the experience. He's likely to be better than FUT champs, both of those players, but if you've used either of them, you've unlocked them, I don't think there's been enough points. They're level 30. I'm throwing Kone in the same category, same disclaimer. Sammy Kerr is so cold-blooded with the finishing and the shot selection. Just feels so natural up front. I have her at rank 1, but a strong, aggressive rank 1. As we've started making additional categories, it's going to give me more room to float. Just wait for it. Martinez is cool. I don't like that he has slide tackle. He's not a big body type of CB either. Just put that out there. Harry Maguire, let the memes enter the stage. I want him in FUT champs, which allows Martinez to also get pulled up. I think you guys would have them 1-to-1. Mandanda, beautiful history within the ecosystem, many years now. Not my favorite goalkeeper, but he has had so many moments, mostly conceding finesse shots, and now Trivella's. I'm more of a debatable with him as a goalkeeper. If you've been part of this channel, it's a lot of interpretation and opinion and subjectivity, in particular with goalkeepers across the board. It's just harder stats to measure, and everybody has their preference, and they stand by it. Marquisio, get him into rank 1. Sort of back, but not all the way. Got Mbappe. I guess you could insert either version. I'm okay with them getting into the weekend. End of the day, it's the second Mbappe and a much cheaper selection. I like Cunha. Similar to that Firmino from the last objective season, if you want a bit of a player that you can compare and contrast with. Talent is undeniable. Similar type of vibe. JJ, if you got some 5-star skills in your arsenal, something special, extracurricular, extraordinary, above and beyond. Just don't trust players that have chip shot. Seems that way. Futra, I support this SBC. I think you're clean for a weekend league extravaganza, to the point that I'm giving him rank 1. This isn't all about price tags, but quite the value from an SBC. Man, Musiala's been a steal since day 1. That technical is just unparalleled. The dribbling, the quick twitch muscles, the separation, 5-star skills, 5-star weak foot. I'm going broken. Nakata, I want to see him in action. I'd like to see what he can do. He might be better than FUT champs, but I don't have anything to work with. Nusa, I don't have the belief in. It's one of those silver to 88 with all these different stats. It's iffy. There's some Fugazi action. That's what I'm saying. Nico Williams, he started the year with so much hype, and it sort of died down. Not necessarily because of any performances on the actual pitch, but virtual pitch upgrades and other options and new players and play styles, and the game shifted, and he's still good to go. But at one point, you would have thought that he'd be next up to just terrorize everyone. You don't need her. We'll go debatable. McGrath, some more stats I'm just not bought into. Petit is smooth through the weekend as we bust down a second row. Pepe Reina, kind of similar to Mandanda. I'm not really a believer in him as a goalkeeper like that. I don't mean that with a disrespect. He's just not anywhere near some of the top goalkeepers I've used this year. Oberdorf is okay. She always outperforms her stats, but the stats don't necessarily jump off the page. So is that a backhanded compliment? It's not meant that way, but Nick Pope, FUT champs, for sure. Pop, I just can't see you using her. I could be nice today if we'd like, and we'll go debatable, but that's my takeaway. Paredes, I packed them, and I've been enjoying using them. I still think the weekend is where it's going to round out. Rabiot is running wild in the midfield. No doubt. No second guessing for the weekend. Rafa Leao, thinking he might make that top 5. There's a lot of players, but extra broken, best step over, release, explosiveness, decisive, danger. He's just simply a difference maker. Absolutely authentic on the virtual pitch. Ramirez, good luck beating him in any sort of 50-50. Just absolute annoyance. Chases everywhere, never runs out of gas, Energizer Bunny, back and forth. Talent this way and that way, and shifts everything that you're doing, allows you to play more aggressively. He's just something else. Renato, and I promise I'm not trying to be a broken record, but level 30, have not unlocked him. Rank 1 is where I think he's gonna be. I could be right, I could be wrong. I do not believe in the 95 pace. We're pine shopping. Nicholas Raskin, also to the pine. Ricky, Ricardo, it's an upgrade, but you might be forcing it to go weekend. I think you can. I like his play styles. He's not my favorite player. Woo! Rolfo, undoubtedly a talent. I'm not sure if she should be included in this or not. I don't think this SBC was highlighting her in any FUT birthday capacity, but she still had the same flashback as the other individuals. I gave it to her. You can come after me if you like. If you've got big budgets with Ronaldinho, that's going to be a fun experience. Beautiful game, Joga Benito. I'll never forget that Nike commercial where he's juggling the football and then goes into the crossbar. It still lives rent-free in my head, and I think about it every year. Trinity Rodman would complete that SBC. Maybe even better than FUT Champs. He has that low-driven, rapid. This is an upgraded version that was necessary. It was on the agenda. I sent out the calendar invite. Ruben Diaz deserves a little bit better. I like this version. I like this iteration. He's going rank 1. Sausage, you definitely don't need her. We're just throwing a debatable. You're probably not going to use her. Keep this short and sweet. Sam's, that's going to be a pass from yours truly. Salma, this is your year. To the degree that I need her in broken. Just an absolute specimen. Cuts up, slice, dice. You could take her out for pizza every single night. You can't deal with what's going to happen to you on the virtual pitch. Alex Scott is smooth. You could definitely use her throughout a weekend league, but you might have other options you prefer. Swanson finally getting the nudge from the 89, now up to a 93. Cool for the weekend. The rest of the game sort of caught up to her to a certain degree. If you recall that early version, you tag teamed her with Alex Morgan and you had something brewing. Coffee on a weekday. Ruben Neves blends in, so he's going debatable. The Singo item, I like him. I like him enough for the weekend. That could be hot takes. That's the take. Yaya Toure, without a doubt, broken. Smolarek, come on, put him into motion. He was doing things with a 3-star weak foot and 3-star skills. Now he's got 5+5. Tapsoba, I like that SBC a lot. Would recommend, please do complete. We're going rank 1. You can pick a version, whatever style you'd like to have. Wesley Sneijder, the passing supreme. Not talking about the name brand. I am not a believer. Let's keep this pushing. Carlos Tevez, safe rank 1, 350,000 coin SBC, technical, power shot, able to finish, has the 5-star and the 5-star, of course. Happy days. I'm not sure I'm sold on Ella, but finesse shot and incisive is a good combination. Suarez, lethal. I don't know that I'm getting on a bandwagon to just take him immediately to broken, but he can immediately be in rank 1, and I love the price point of the SBC. Big Marcus. This year, he's been good. I don't know if this item does enough. I've been using them, and I'm not sure if it's the game that adjusted this in particular upgrade, if the rest of the players sort of caught up. His stats are better, and the skills and the body type's the same, of course, but I don't feel the same presence that I had earlier on this year with him. If you're using Van Basten, I am cooking you. That's how I feel. Virgil van Dijk, only one place. Extra broken. Well, there could be 2 places, but for now, that's what it's going to be. I want to break this down proper. Patrick Vieira, good luck naming a better holding midfielder. And it's sometimes around the laws. He just follows the rules and the guidelines. He's never out of position. He's always where he's supposed to be when he's supposed to be. Once in a Willian. It's going to be him or Balotelli. I'm telling you, I'm going to pick Balotelli, but I know that he'll be cool for the weekend. Sophia Wilson, congrats on the pregnancy. And she is absolutely straight to the top in terms of the broken material that you're getting. Wubin Moy, that's going to be a no. Pine, please. Emery's in that 90+ situational. Definitely rank 1. Could be a hot take if I keep him out of broken. I know for so many, He's just come in with some of the best dribbling that you've used, and maybe I'm just talking my way into having him into broken. I think that's what I was doing. I thought about rank 1, and then he's going up a notch. Zaha is good enough for the weekend. You just might struggle with some links with, of course, the MLS move. Martin Zubamendi. I am going to go to the Pine. Okay, that's a lot of players, a lot of names. Let's review. If you're new here, I like to focus on the upper half. A lot of the players that end up being in Pine are debatable. Not only is there not a lot of movement, they're just not going to be game-changing enough. I'm not sure what to do with the top 5. I deleted Extra Broken and just created that as a top 10. So we kind of meshed it together, and now I'm going to pinpoint maybe a few names that we could still move. Does anyone go up from FUT champs is the question. I can see Nick Pope. I'm not upset with that. I've enjoyed him to the point that I'll give him the nudge even as a goalkeeper. I don't know if that's a hot take, but that's what's happened. I talked about this earlier, but Jones or Kimpembe, I wouldn't be surprised if they're in a higher category. I just don't have experience with them. The real question might be, can people move from broken or rank 1? That Adeyemi will cook you. Bon Madi is who you expected her to be, no doubt. Sammy Kerr deserves all of your respect. The more that I stare this down, I think that we did well. And we have the comment section, plenty of back and forth. I encourage you to give me all of your opinions. We can express ourselves. And as always, I have a lot more content coming out ASAP. And if your brand's spanking new, drop that subscription.